Now we're going to draw a botanical pattern based on a geometric pattern. So we'll lay out our circle again and our square within the circle. I've drawn my circle. I'll now bisect it by drawing a line through the center. Then I bisect this line by opening up the compass a little wider than the radius. Set the point down on one edge. Oops. Draw an arc. Come to the opposite point of intersection. Draw an arc. And this point of intersection will serve as the origin of my line, run through the center of the circle. Now it's cut into 4 even quarters. If I want to draw a square within the circle, I'd connect these points of intersection on the circumference. And now we're going to draw a rotational pattern instead of a symmetrical pattern, which means that each of these quadrants will be the same as we turn them or rotate them. So I'll pick any point along this line for the first edge of my leaf, and I'll connect it to this point. I'll make a geometric pattern at first, and then I'll come soften the lines by hand after I've got the structure laid out. So I chose this point at random, but now I need to find that same distance on each of these lines. So I'll take the measurement with my compass. And make a little arc. I could draw a complete circle, or I can just make a little arc crossing these vertical and horizontal axes. And since it's rotational, I know I want to start here and go to this point. And it's probably easier to make sure you can turn your paper when you're developing a rotational pattern so that you can see a little more easily what it is you're doing. So I go from this point to this one and this point here. I'll shade these in lightly so that we can keep track of our leaf pattern. It's definitely easier to do this with colored pencils than with a single color. It can get very confusing. So now I want this leaf to come behind this one. So I'm choosing a point at random along this line. But I can find this point on the rest of these lines again with my compass. So I set my compass down in the center of my circle, find that measurement, which by coincidence is just slightly smaller than what I had. That's just coincidence. And then I will turn this and make an arc where it intersects each of these edges. That's here, here, and here. And then I know that I connect these points to the corner. Again, I'll shade these in quickly, lightly. Now I'll come back with a different color to clarify, and I'll soften and round out these edges so they won't be identical, but I've laid out the structure here. It's very helpful to turn the page because the angle of your line is much easier to draw the same time when you rotate your paper instead of trying to get a similar line by turning your arm awkwardly. So you can see we're getting a more organic look by these freehand lines that use the structure of the geometrical drawing underneath. And then maybe I wish I had drawn this as an arc into the center. So I'm going to try to cover up these lines.